I am now spending 5 days in Cape Town doing the final touches to the build. Starts with back to Stamans. We have to sort out the air conditioning, and then the car has been using a little bit of oil, so they're going to put in an additive for worn and old engines. Not that the engine is about to give up the ghost, it's just old and a little bit tired. But actually, it's running beautifully.
Basically to prevent more wear and fill up gaps where the engine is worn out.
Right.
But it will be quite interesting to see if it works or not.
How often would you say I should check the oil? You've driven it more than me, so...
I will check it every tank.
It's 2024. That means 40 years that I've been exploring the world's most remote places in four-wheel drives, in association with the Overland Workshop. I have just 6 days to take care of the details of preparing for a major trip into the wilderness, which includes a week solo in an extremely remote area. There is far more to do than just shopping. It's the many other things that are going to surprise me as I do this. For example, I purchased this thing goes over the fire, build a fire, and then open it up and put it on the fire, and then you slide the grid, food on it, at these different levels. But there's a problem. As you can see, if I put it in here, I can't close the lid. Because I can't close the lid, well, I have to put it at an angle, and then it's now taking up too much space. So I'm going to ask them to cut the legs so it fits perfectly in my GoBX box. Everything in here is going to get very dusty, but that doesn't really matter, because what I should put in here are things that are going to be dirty anyway, like cooking grids. Maybe my warning triangles, I can tie them up there. Tarpaulin, I'll leave it in its bag. And I'm thinking perhaps this too. This is a little canine table. And it's the kind of thing that will be needed outside only, so it doesn't matter if it gets dirty. And I could need it at any time, because maybe I want to put some firewood somewhere. I need a little bit of extra space. I can sit on it as well. So if I'm just parked at the side of the road and I need something to sit on, it's here, instantly accessible. So this needs to go in here as well. Right, where's my cooking grid? Here the suspension U-bolts are being shortened, and this harness that came with the laser lamps, I'll show them in a minute, but that harness allows me to wire them up quickly, and they'll be mounted here. And it's a very interesting product. It's not available in South Africa yet. Low profile, under the radar, amazing performance. And I am already stealing ideas from this vehicle for my Australia build, because I see some real innovative thinking. To start with, these, I'll get to that later. These, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And this is a slider window from Explore Glazing in Holland. And I wasn't sure what to do, because all four gull wings means that when you're inside the vehicle, closing them and opening them, you can't do. And I need air in here, because I'm going to sleep in here. So I'm going to order one of these for my Australia. And yes, I could keep the standard Toyota ones, but security-wise, they're lousy. Security's a big deal in Africa. And I'm going to get one of those.
Get straight up.
I think so.
4XO level.
I beg your pardon?
Do you want that level or do you want that level? Because they're both not level.
At last I am on the road, about 3 hours out of Cape Town. I've stopped for a break. Heading basically in a north-easterly direction towards Botswana. Botswana's still a day and a half away. Isn't that beautiful? This, when I lived in Cape Town, was the point where I could start relaxing. It was like, yeah, I'm at the top of the hill. You know what? You might have one when you travel regular routes to get out of the city to go to your favorite place, is you have that moment where of physical and mental relaxation. This is it for me. I am properly on the road now. I hope that camera mounts. Seems to be moving about a bit. So many things to do and so many things kind of working but not really working very well. The packing system in the back is, now I've added the bedding and my suitcase with my clothes. There's no space in the back, so I've got to do a total reorganizing. You might be able to hear the rattle, that is the awning that is rattling. I've tried to fix it twice. I have failed, but I need time. This has been the challenge, my challenge this whole week. I've not had any time, quality time, to focus on sorting an issue. Everything has been rushed. Here's the thing about building a vehicle, and it might sound as if I'm complaining, I'm not. We build vehicles for long distance travel, and we have months in our garages to tweak this, tweak that, add this, change this, tweaking, getting it right, getting things livable. I haven't had my own workshop. Everything that has been done on this vehicle, I've had to rely on other people up to the point where I have arrived and still rely on other people. So everything is nothing is polished, nothing is refined. And I've learned that if you do this and you build your own vehicle, you are starting from scratch. So I had to go shopping, and it took me, in total, I suppose, one full day, maybe 1.5 full days, doing nothing but shopping. Not fitting, not filling, not packing, shopping. You have a folding shovel. It's the pepper and salt, and it's the egg lift, and it's the cutlery, and then all of the things that you need to put in. So where do you put the cutlery? Where do you put the cups? Where do you put the pasta? A year ago, I came to the same store, asked permission if I could film. No, I have to send them an email first. So I sent an email to, please can I film in your store? It'll be really good publicity for you, at outdoorwarehouse.co.za. I didn't get a reply, so I took that as a yes. Cooking grid, fire stand, the different levels on it. A radiator net, warning triangles, mandatory from some border posts, I'll check for them, rope and bungees. Until I started this little shopping spree. Do you have a collapsible bucket? I had no idea what it would be like equipping an overlander from scratch. Even my very first one, I had a whole lot of camping equipment which I just simply put in the back. Now the vehicle is empty. I have to think of everything. Your gas cartridges. I purchased a Jetboil in Australia because they're about half the price in Australia compared with South Africa. But they take the common gas bottle. I'm a hopeless judge of fashion. Does that look good? Mozzie wipes and things like that. I'm going to put that in there. Yep. Now I'll get one tabard spray as well. Fly swatters. Proper fly swatters. Leather fly swatters. So it's a big sheet with holes at the end. Plastic sheet. We call them tarpaulins. A big... ground, like a ground sheet type thing, yes. Tarpaulin, 2 of them, 2 by 2 meters. Right. That list looking good, isn't it? Next to a motor spares shop. Paul has given me his standard spare parts list for his Africa bills and Africa travel, and I'm going to go and collect mine now.
Something that you need, you can speak. There's no problem.
So we've got gearbox oil, power steering oil.
That's all we got. Yeah.
Engine oil.
Talking about something like that. Basically, your female.
Yes.
I'll make you nice and visible.
Can never have enough cable ties or Velcro, I always say. A little bit thicker.
No.
If you have.
12 ton, 12 ton.
8 is ideal. I'm glad we walked around the shop because that was on my list. The list contains items like a first aid kit for the car. So a big thank you to Goeiehoop Onderdelen for your support over the years and the support for this build. Marius, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Safe journeys.
Wrapping this up, I'm fitting a product that is actually the first time this product has been fitted to any car outside of Australia. It is a unique new look at a raised air intake snorkel. And because it's the very first time fitted to a 1HZ Landcruiser, we're going to have to call in the help of some grey cells to get it right. And the man for the job is, of course, Hubert Snyman from Snyman's 4x4.
We need the blowtorch to cut the hole, and we need to bend the A-pillar also. But
Oh, that's easy. Let's take
You're at it again, aren't you?
Let's take the windscreen out, put the door in.
it's not going to work on this angle. So what we need to do is we can fit the snorkel, but then we need to modify the air cleaner with a new inlet on this side and basically close this
You
one.
can't spin it, hey? No, it's easier just to put an inlet there.
Well, we need a straight one or an angle one, but
Workair Technologies made up a kit for the 1HZ air cleaner system, but could not test it in Australia because the 1HZ engine was never sold in Australia, with the widened front end introduced when the V8 came along.
it's just a fender.
It's nicely made.
Let's take the air cleaner out, take the aerial off, and we'll see where we land.
He's only leaving tomorrow.
This is a very interesting product. It's called the Workair Tech Scavenger, and I've been asked to be part of the test program. The idea is that it pre-cleans the air far more effectively than a traditional cyclonic filter as fitted to a standard Landcruiser. The cyclonic action happens at all rev ranges and is far more effective. This, as I said, is the very first one fitted to any vehicle outside of Australia. Exactly how this works in future videos. The final two mechanical items are about to be ticked off the list as done, which means just a little bit more shopping and I can get on the road. Those two items, the Scavenger raised air intake, much more about that later, and my laser mini light bars. More about those later as well. It's a mess, isn't it? It's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess because this is the very, very last stage. But I am now finally ready. I've done the final shop. I've actually had to create a workshop. I'll show you how I've done that. And in the videos ahead, I'm actually carrying a mini workshop. It's not just tools. It's also bits of rubber and self-tapping screws, because I've already got something coming loose on the door. I need some self-tapping screws. Got them. But I'm now getting on the road. I have a drive now of 426 kilometers to a place called Calvinia. And depending on the time, I might overnight in Calvinia. Anyway, so welcome to my trip. Those of you who don't know, my plan is for I'm doing a solo trip through the western part of the Kalahari, quite close to where it edges onto the Namib desert plains, at a place called Mabusahube. I first went there in 1987 and there was nothing there, and that is a story that I look forward to telling you. It was one of the epic trips of my entire career. I did not videotape it, I took a lot of still photographs, but one amazing trip. Extremely adventurous, crossing the open desert, not using any roads. That I will tell you when I'm in Mabua. Then I will be traveling to Maun, which is the frontier town of the Okavango Delta, where I am meeting Jeremy James. You know him from the channel, from US. He lives in Seattle. I've done several trips with Jeremy in the US, and one in Australia and one in Africa before this. So meeting him in Maun, we will be then driving, two of us, driving to Livingston, where it will become 3 when Gwyn joins us, and that'll be at Livingston, and that is in Zambia. We've been watching the hippos now for an hour. Campsite set up on the riverbank. This is why we do it. This is it. Everything we do in four-wheel driving and overlanding, at the end of the day, this is the reward. And it's worth every toll, every roadblock, every flat, every, you name it. In Zambia, we are going to 2 very long days driving in Zambia to get to South Luangwa. We're going to try and get to South Luangwa in 2 days from Livingston. I think it's doable, but they're going to be long days. Distance is not that long, but it's slow going in Zambia. One has to drive with a great deal of care, and South Luangwa is a magnificent wildlife area. I've been there only once before, and it was so memorable. Have to go back and show Jeremy and actually show Gwyn what an amazing place that is. Then from there, ditto, Lake Malawi. We're going to visit Lake Malawi, which is amazing. The people in Malawi are amazing, and the scenes on the bay, on the lake, and we'll be snorkeling in the lake. And from Lake Malawi, Gwyn and I will then return to Livingston, where Jeremy will be leaving his rental vehicle. He's renting his vehicle from Safari Drive. He'll be leaving us. Gwyn and I will then be driving to where we had our honeymoon. No choice but to walk it. No crocodiles here.
Pardon?
No crocodiles here.
I don't know, but there are. Let's die together.
In a place called Lupala, which is southern Caprivi, part of Namibia. And we are going to both go camping and a bit of lodging in the area. Beautiful wildlife area, really gorgeous, but also quite very well known, particularly with overseas people. They don't know about it. It's brilliant. And there's really beautiful lodges and a really beautiful place, and the lodges are not that expensive, unlike the Okavango, where prices are just ridiculous.
Okay, here it's the most beautiful place. It's like an Eden.
Once we do that, then we will be driving to Windhoek, where I will be leaving this vehicle, and we will be flying home from Windhoek. So I'm expecting it to be a 5 or 6 part series. I hope you will stay with us. Remember, those of you on YouTube, I'm just going to ask one little thing of you. I mean, these shows are made possible by Patreons, but they're also made possible by you guys, especially if you click the like button. Just like the video. If you like the video, like the video. It's not a lot to ask, and I promise you it makes a difference. It makes a difference to me. Not just because of the numbers, because it actually draws other traffic. It tells YouTube that lots of people like the show. Not only watched the video, but also liked it. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd be very grateful if you could click that like button if you like the idea of following this series. See you next time.